Albert Einstein once said, "It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education." Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The motion before the House is, school education should be free and compulsory for all children across the world. And I, Shagun Ghosh, stand before you to speak firmly against the motion. Throughout modern history, education elites and their political cronies have implemented countless initiatives aimed at reforming education. Curiously, compulsory education laws which conscript children into state-regulated programs of study are rarely discussed in the context of educational reform. The fact is, the ostensibly benevolent nature of these laws allows demagogues to marginalize retractors and quell any attempt at serious discourse. To objectively evaluate the merits of such laws, we must fully account for all their costs. Evaluating the effects on private forms of education is a good starting point. By enforcing certification for minimum standards, the state effectively, though very subtly, dominates the private schools and makes them, in effect, extensions of the public school system. One of the best ways of regarding the problem of compulsory education is to think of almost the exact analogy in the area of the other great educational medium, the newspaper. What would we think of a proposal for the government to use the taxpayers' money to set up a nationwide chain of public newspapers and compel all people, in fact all children, to read them? What would we think furthermore of the government's outlawing all of the newspapers, or indeed outlawing all newspapers that do not conform to a minimum standard of what a government commission thinks a student ought to read? Such a proposal would generally be regarded with horror, and yet this is exactly the sort of regime that the government wishes to establish in the sphere of scholastic instruction. It is also clear that providing the education to the rich and well-off is redundant and in fact detrimental to the success of such a scheme. The state's monopoly on what defines education inevitably suppresses alternate views, thereby eliminating the complexity and diversity that should be prevalent in the market. Instead, a homogeneous system is used to cater to the needs of heterogeneous society. Check another cost of compulsory education. Each child has different intelligence, aptitude, and interests. Therefore, the best choice of pace, timing, variety, and manner, and the courses of instruction will differ widely from one child to another. Yes?
Well, the fact is that all these things that you take into account about variety and everything else in the education system, that can be changed. Netherlands, Sweden, and many other European countries have given students a lot of freedom to choose their courses, and isn't exactly a government monopoly that you must study this or must not study that. The government has just made schooling free. It does not dictate terms as the way you are proposing that it does dictate terms.
So would you agree that in a classroom there are students with different intellectual capabilities and different aptitudes? If so, then you would also agree that the teacher, if she teaches or if he or she teaches at any rate or pace, then they would be doing injustice to each and every child. Because a brighter child would have to take a slower course, and he would have to, basically dumb down his intelligence in order to be satisfied with the course. While for a student who does not have such high intellectual capabilities, it will be very hard to keep pace with the course.
Point of information?
Yes.
Okay, so again, in a situation like this, you have numerous systems which grade students based on their abilities. Just like the US system, where you have various levels of calculus done in schools. The higher students can challenge themselves to the highest course, where the lower students who do not have that intellectual capabilities can take the easier courses.
Yes.
So how does your point stand of everyone being forced to study just one thing? There are many methods by which everyone can study what they want.
Yes, sir. Sir, but the system that you are talking about of different kinds of classes exists prevalently in the private schools, and also in the public schools it exists only in the high schools, not necessarily in the middle schools, or certainly not in the primary education systems. It is hence clear that the formal school, characterized by classes in which one teacher instructs many children, is an immensely inadequate system. Regardless of how the teacher instructs, he is doing injustice to each and every one of the children. Any schooling involves misfitting each child into a Procrustean bed of insuitable uniformity. In various countries in the past, the free and compulsory education system has also included religious indoctrination. For example, in Germany, Martin Luther's system focused on the Lutheran interpretation of the Bible. To summarize, ladies and gentlemen, mankind is naturally differentiated into many types, and to press all these types into the same mold must inevitably lead to distortions and repressions. It is no less than making children of such diverse backgrounds captives of the system. It is no less than suppressing their creativity. The whole structure of education as a natural process we have envisaged falls to pieces if we attempt to make that structure artificial. Thank you.